Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us at All Systems Go, our third Netreo user get-together. In this past year, our company has grown in revenue size and diversity, and we have been recognized by Inc. 5000 for the 6th consecutive year for our growth. We've also continued to receive accolades for our product capabilities and for being an exceptional workplace. We have much to celebrate together. Customers, partners, and team members, thank you for being on this amazing journey with us. We're deeply honored by your trust and partnership, and will continue to hold true to our corporate values of authenticity, accessibility, and accountability. In this session, we'd love to take you on a journey across our executive team to tell you more about the impact we'll be making and what we're planning this coming year. To share with you more about the customer impact we've been having, I'd like to introduce Jed Caldwell, our Chief Revenue Officer. Hi, Jed. Could you please tell us more about how we've been partnering with our customers and partners around the world?
Thanks, Jez. So first, let me start by thanking all of our customers and partners for everything you do every day to invest in and to promote Netreo technology both internally and externally. Given how difficult the current global economic climate can be to justify time and money invested in any technology, I want you all to know that it's very much appreciated. And here at Netreo, we consider it an honor and a privilege that you've chosen to invest in our partnership together. As always, we're going to return the favor by continuing to invest in our teams and our channels that are focusing on you, and also by investing in our technology so that you can continue to unlock tremendous value in our platforms and products every day.
It is indeed an honor. Thank you, everyone. So, Jed, our Americas business has had a surge this year. Could you talk us through an example?
Yes, I can, Jazz. So in the Americas, we have our newly promoted Americas sales leader, Richard Drulow, and together with his new team, we're solving major problems for some customers like our federal government customers in highly secure, air-gapped environments. And whilst we can't name those customers, they're incredibly significant in both size and importance and solving very, very complex problems. And we're delighted to bring them into the Netreo fold. And a special thank you to the Netreo security team, who've worked tirelessly this past year in partnership with our customers to provide the most amazing support to help customers like the federal government customers acquire our technology far easier. And then to make it even easier, we've also just signed up in the Americas, both Arrow ECS and their federal arm, the IMIX group, as our two-tier distribution arm. That provides Netreo customers access to hundreds of partners with a buying vehicle to make it even easier to do business with us. Richard and the team will be on the road next week, visiting customers in DC and Chicago. So please reach out to them if you'd like to come see you. They're in the collaboration platform, so you can connect with them directly. And of course, we're planning to expand the Arrow ECS agreement and relationship into Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific in the coming quarters.
Thanks, Jed. Two-tier distribution and federal customers in the Americas are indeed incredibly important. Let's switch gears and talk about EMEA. What's happening there?
So for EMEA, let's talk about our partner in Italy, Millennium IT, and the value that they have driven to help the largest volume-based industry-grade precision machining, automation, and tooling company in mainland Europe. Now, that's not easy for anyone to say. Their customer is a leading supplier of complex, high-precision components made of metals, such as turbocharger housing in your cars, injection nozzles, and even the tips of ballpoint pens. So their automation solutions consist of precision manufacturing and assembly machines that help customers like hospitals and medical organizations mass produce things like precision medical syringes. So what that means to their business is they have an extensive multi-country critical network, which they are partnering with Millennium and Netreo with our technology to manage. They are regarded as the best in the world, and we're delighted and proud that they've selected to invest in both Netreo and the Millennium partnership. And I'm very much looking forward to spending time with our customers and the Millennium team in Italy at the end of the month. So for those Italian customers that are on the platform today, please reach out in the collaboration platform to Gianfranco or to Vikram, and we'll arrange to spend some time with you.
Wow, thank you, Jed. It's incredibly rare to hear so much depth about how amazing our customers are and how they add value to their customers and how our partners are helping them locally. Last but not least, what's going on in Asia Pacific?
Well, as some of you may know, Asia Pacific has some of the most diverse and wonderfully demanding customers on the planet. So in Electronic City in Bangalore, India, is the headquarters of Wipro. Wipro is one of the largest global service providers. They serve more than 1,300 incredibly large global customers with 250,000 employees in 66 countries. They have an incredibly skillful staff and bleeding edge IT managed services catalog, pushing the boundaries of artificial intelligence, automation, etc., and helping their customers win every day. Using the Netreo technology for both infrastructure and applications, they're using the breadth of our portfolio to keep critical business applications and IT services up and running, serving customers such as large banks, insurance companies, retailers, transportation companies, manufacturers, and government clients in countries not only in just Asia Pacific, but all over the world. This is a company I've been working with for many years personally, and it was a real pleasure to invite them to the Netreo family last December. And a huge thank you to the Wipro team and the Netreo product management organization for working so closely together over the last year, building capabilities to help enhance our technology, to help them delight their customers, deliver value faster, drive the right outcomes, and ensure their customers win. Demanding customers simply make our technology better. So that's just a quick update, everybody, from the partners and the customers' perspective. Through this event, you're going to get some of the best touch points from our partners. You'll also get to see their videos. You'll learn about customers and what they're doing with our technology. So embrace, all of that, engage with everybody and see how they can help you win and extend your value beyond what you're doing today. Please use the next couple of days to also network with each other, find out who's visiting who over the next few months, and get to meet people in person as the world is opening up. I expect you to hopefully learn from a lot of the sessions and breakouts, unlocking a ton of value for you and for your teams. And I'm delighted that you're with us this week. Have a wonderful conference. And Jazz, back to you.
Thank you, Jed. And thanks also in particular for building this amazing team and connecting Netreo with a strong partner community around the world. We couldn't have done it without you. Speaking of customers, we have an announcement to make about a renewed focus on the developer experience. Here, sharing the news, is Megan Amos.
Thanks, Jazz. Hey, everyone. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. I'm excited to be a part of this conference, and a huge thank you to everyone who helped put this together. This conference takes a lot of effort to pull off, and we are so appreciative of your work. For those of you whom I have not met, I am Megan Amos, the VP of Developer Experience here at Netreo. My role at Netreo has recently shifted from customer success to developer experience because as a customer-focused organization, we want to ensure not just the success of our customers, but also put a focus on making sure they are having an experience that helps their day-to-day roles. My focus will be on our application performance monitoring products, Retrace and Prefix. But don't worry, my shift doesn't mean no one is focused on customers. Brian Olson will be continuing to lead the customer teams at Netreo, and no one does it better than Brian. I will just be exploring the new frontier of how we continue to innovate and elevate for customers with our APM tools. I came to Netreo from the acquisition of Stackify, and I'm thrilled to watch us put a large focus on innovating products I have been part of developing for the last 6 years. But enough about that for now. I will be talking more in depth about all of that tomorrow during my Day 2 Developer Experience Keynote.
Thanks, Megan. We are so excited to have a renewed focus on our APM offering. But let's also hear more about customers over the past year. Want to talk more about customer success and our teams?
Absolutely, Jazz. It's been a good year for customers at Netreo. It's been exciting watching our products expand into new industries, new countries, and watch customers have wins with our products. We have a large number of customers joining us for All Systems Go over the next 2 days, and we have a lot of customers and partners presenting and sharing their knowledge with our community. I'm looking very forward to their presentations and being able to learn from them as well. Our customer teams provide so much value here at Netreo, and it's been my absolute honor to work alongside them. I have never seen people so dedicated to the customer base they serve and advocating for them at every level of our organization. All of our customer operations teams will be participating in this conference, and many of them will be leading technical deep dives with our products. I would recommend you attend their sessions and capitalize on their experience and expertise with our product suite. That's enough for me for now. But thanks again for joining us today. And don't hesitate to connect with me here in the conference platform through LinkedIn, or just shoot me an email. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. And I'm going to end this like I end all meetings with my team. Go team.
Thank you, Megan. Speaking of customer focus, I'd like to introduce you all to Melissa Phillips, VP of Product Management, who joined us earlier this year as well. Many of you may have already met her, as she has been actively reaching out to learn more about your current and emerging needs. Melissa, what's new in the product team? What kinds of exciting things are going on?
Thank you, Jess. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm Melissa Phillips. I'm the Netreo VP of Product Management. Lots of cool things are happening at Netreo. We conducted customer surveys earlier this year with customers of both our Netreo infrastructure monitoring platform, as well as the Retrace and Prefix application performance monitoring platforms. For those of you who participated, thank you so much for your valuable feedback. Your feedback and input is very helpful for us in planning out our future capabilities for our systems. We also have had a number of conversations with some of our great customers. So to those who have joined us for conversations with the product team, thank you so much to those who have shared your experiences and ideas. One of the themes that really is key for us is listening. And I mean by that, really hearing what our customers and partners have to say and taking what they say to heart, and then figuring out how best to respond. It's all part of our customer focus. And we'll talk more about that in my product keynote on day 2 of this event. Between our survey responses and our discussions directly, we've heard a few themes. On the Netreo platform, we heard a lot about wanting more configurability in dashboards and reports, more extensibility in device compatibility, and more and better documentation. On the APM front, you told us your most important programming languages, as well as other features that you'd like to see. Some of the key initiatives on our product roadmap are things like the following. One key one is openness or extensibility, such as the ability to ingest open telemetry data and easily expand infrastructure monitoring to new device types and resource types. So that's a really key thing we're looking at. Under a category we call customer satisfiers are various focused iterative improvements to specific areas of the system. These are often coming, from customer feedback and input and ideas even. For example, we have made and are continuing to make improvements in reporting to provide additional useful data and help customers really harness the power of data from the Netreo platform. We have an initiative related to cloud monitoring, which includes monitoring of hosting environments such as AWS and Azure, as well as monitoring other cloud things like software-defined networks and solutions like the various SD-WAN vendor offerings. We have a variety of things on there under a technical umbrella to continue to improve performance, scalability, reliability, and things like that, as well as other architectural improvements. And we have an initiative to further integrate our APM offerings into the enterprise and into our core platform. And we'll be talking much more about those things in the product keynote on day 2. Please join us. Thank you, Jazz. Back to you.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm so excited about this customer focus and already from what I've seen so far that you've been working on. So everyone, up next, we have more on the link between customers, compliance, as well as engineering. Our speaker next is Andrew Anderson, and he needs no introduction to many of us here as the co-founder of Netreo. Andrew, what's new?
Thanks, Jazz. Wow, what a ride. We've really enjoyed some great growth this year. It's been so fun, so exciting to watch the company grow, bring on many new great customers. But with that growth comes a lot of responsibility. Last year, I talked about foundational excellence in our product suite. This year, we're still focused on that, but we've grown it to be what I'm going to call operational excellence. And that's really taking a look at everything we do across the company as we grow and making sure that we have the right focus and the right processes in place so that as we're bringing on new employees and new partners and new customers, that we've got everything we need to be successful in like I say, the best ways. With that, we've been on compliance journey. So last year we focused on our SOC 2 Type 1 audit. This year, at the beginning of this year, we completed our Type 2 audit and got great scores. And as the year's gone on, we've been expanding the scope of our SOC 2 compliance to include our APM business as well. That audit is forthcoming in the next few months. Beyond that, we've started focusing on risk management so that we're doing the right things, and we're talking about moving towards the ISO certification. And lastly, we're building plans to get our FedRAMP certification to help our federal customers. So there's a lot going operationally from a compliance perspective. It's hard to talk about compliance and not also think about security. We've really, over the last couple of years, trying to be shifting our company to be a security first company. And there's an awful lot to that. It's making sure, number one, that our product has security baked into it. It's doing all of the right things with customers' environments and the way our code is built, the way we manage all our secrets and passwords and our customer secrets and passwords, and all of those things, making sure that they're done with the best practices that the industry has to offer. Our engineers are all going through regular discipline security training. We've been building out our CI/CD pipeline to have heightened security awareness. Our infrastructure has been going through a heightened focus on what we need to do to make sure it's as security as we can possibly be, and all our processes. So it's really look at the entire organization and making sure it is security first. It's hard for me to talk about our company especially, and not talk about our customers. As we grow, as we bring in all these new employees and partners and everything that we're doing to help facilitate our growth, we have to make very, very careful to make sure that we continue to be customer first. So I'm very excited that today you're going to get to hear from some of our new leaders and some of our old leaders and all of the things that we've been doing to make sure we're customer first, that we're learning from our customers what features they need in our product, what we can do to better our services, how we can help our customer success, all of those things being really customer focused to make sure that we really are solving the right problems and putting the right things first. Lastly, we've got a heightened awareness on our partners and our partner ecosystem. So as we grow, we're trying to make sure that we're doing the right things so that our partners can grow with us. There's been a lot of focus on partner enablement. In fact, next week, we're going to be kicking off a technical partner enablement program focused on helping partners understand the best practices for deploying the Netreo product suites into our customer environment. So ton going on. I'm super excited about all of the information that we get to share over the next couple of days. I hope everybody has a great event. We've had a great time building the materials and getting ready for this. Cheers.
Thank you, Andrew. That's a lot we've accomplished and a lot to look forward to as well. As you've heard, our engineering team has been making huge strides in our product. And at this point, I'd like to introduce you to Ari Shinozaki, our Vice President of Engineering, to take a peek under the hood a little more. Ari's been at Netreo for a year, and we're already experiencing a major transformation in people, process, and culture. Ari, how are you doing? What do you think of your first year at Netreo?
Well, Jess, thanks a lot for having me on. And there's a lot to think about. I think it's been kind of an exciting time, a good experience. I find Netreo is an extremely dynamic, extremely hardworking environment. But what I really enjoy, obviously, is, with all that, it's very collegial, we're very collaborative. And, I'm always really pleased with how much effort and how much thought they put into their work. I personally think this is great for a business like ours because I think all the team members they really do feel like they're part of a whole business, right? Everyone does what they can to sustain our effort. We definitely have pride of ownership, down to every individual. And frankly, even when there's difficult challenges to work through, I see that the whole team, managed to sustain the effort. They managed to sustain that, sense of being part of the solution, owning their piece of the business. So I think that's very healthy. That's very good for our team, right? I think when they show up at work, it really amazes me how much knowledge there is about, the business we're in, about infrastructure itself, monitoring best practices, how to do application performance, monitoring and actual, knowing the engineering of adding performance to applications in general. IT operations, it's all, partly it's all baked into the product, but it's because, the people actually know their stuff, right? And like I said before, even with our modest size, we really do have some very skilled and very dedicated people, top to bottom. Obviously, we've been attacking tech debt. We've been improving how we do our range of work and, attacking bugs as diligently as we can. But it is a journey. We still have a ways to go. But I think that, the good part in my mind is the team has really gelled. I think there's a couple of kind of interesting areas. I'll highlight a few. So just talk about Retrace for a second, or the APM product. I think we're already starting to look at, and we're starting to do some early work around how to get different kinds of data into our system, new types of traces. We are, working on our log management architecture, particularly looking at improving its total performance, its ability to handle, larger capacity work and everything like that. I think one of the things that's exciting, it goes with this, how to get new ways to get the traces, is really look at how to make it easy for our customers to use new technology, which, I think is becoming pretty prevalent. And particularly open telemetry is one of those areas where in Retrace we feel there's a path for us to become part of that, and ingest open telemetry just like we do our own data sources, and really make it part of the APM product, make it part of the workflow, just like everything else, right? And the second kind of major area I think we're looking at is how to make the APM data and workflow itself, what we see in Retrace, do some deeper integration. We have UI integration between the two products today, which is very good, but I think, we all believe there's the next level deeper integration where workflows and even data is shared between the APM platform and our infrastructure management platform. On the infrastructure management side, I think the future really is around adding scale and performance to our, both to our existing architecture and frankly in the cloud for our SaaS product, really expanding how we do cloud first architecture and really adding, kind of native cloud level scaling and performance, right? So, on both sides, but probably more on the cloud for us right now, it's really sort of building some runway anticipation, if you will, for all the new types of data sources we think we're going to need. We already do cloud and SD-WAN polling, but we feel like those kinds of areas are just going to increase in scope, increase in depth. There's a lot of variety of things to be, a range of data and, architectures to be ingested on that side. And so we want our architecture to become, part of that future, right? So that's a big area that we're looking at. And similarly to Retrace, we are looking at how do we ingest a really broad array of sources, like from open telemetry and or telegraph. These technologies are out there, people use them every day. We're again looking at POCs that are already looking at how we do that. We want to bring that into our production environments, sometime in 2023. Oh, and Jazz, before I forget, there's another area within our infrastructure management that we really do want to pay a lot more attention to in 2023. We're looking at how we do our APIs. We're going to look at how we, organize them better, frankly, make them, easier to use. But as part of that, we're also looking at, sometime during 2023, look at how we can use, particularly in the cloud, how we can use, different kinds of technology to frankly add performance and scale that part of our capability out. I think it's something that everyone needs. We definitely want to give it to our customer, and it's an area of focus for the next year.
That's super exciting. Thank you so much, Ari. Great updates.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like to also introduce you all to Josh, a leading Gartner industry analyst and thought leader who joined us earlier this year. Many of you have told me how you've been enjoying his Netreo blogs with interesting topics like what's with all the observability tools? What the heck is an AI op? Cloud visibility and security, and network monitoring and eBPF. So folks, meet the man behind these interesting and informative perspectives. Josh, it's great to have you on board. We know the monitoring space is changing, and you will be discussing that in a session later today. Could you give us a quick overview of what you're seeing, please?
Thanks, Jazz. It's great to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Chessman, the Netreo VP of Innovation and Strategy. And as Jazz indicated, I have a session that is going to dive into how things are changing in the monitoring space coming up later today. I don't know that I'd really say the monitoring space is changing, but rather I'd say that the entire industry is changing and monitoring is changing to keep up. With the continuous acceleration of digital transformation, the rapid transition to cloud, the move to remote and hybrid work environments, and so much more, how and what we monitor is becoming entirely different. It is no longer enough to just instrument and monitor your data center and internal network. You may not have a data center or internal network anymore, so there's nothing to monitor. Even if you still have these and numerous other things, how you are using them and what you are doing with them has almost definitely changed. As you move to the cloud, you lose traditional avenues of visibility into how things are operating. And in the cloud, almost everything is virtual, so you lose visibility into the underlying hardware architecture. As your employees transition to hybrid and remote work, troubleshooting end user experience issues becomes much more complex since there are many traffic paths that are just beyond your control. As these and more changes continue to accelerate, it is changing the fundamentals of monitoring, and organizations need to change how and what they are monitoring to keep up. We will be discussing these topics and more during the Future of Monitoring session coming later today. I hope to see you there. Thanks.
Last but not least, let's hear from Kyle at Netreo, our marketing genius, who is the one that put this event together and brought us all of us here.
Thanks, Jazz. Happy to share. But first, hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today at All Systems Go. I'm Kyle Benaz, Vice President of Marketing here at Netreo, or as some of you may know me, Kyle at Netreo in your inbox, or the guy who hosts all those Netreo webinars. But from a marketing perspective, I mean, where do I begin? It's been a busy year for sure, and I think I can sum it up by saying Netreo amplified. Thanks to our amazing customers and partners, our solutions have been awarded and recognized by third parties like G2, SD Times, Network Computing, Intelix, and more. We also recently climbed up the Inc. 5000 list for the 6th consecutive year based on our growth, and we certainly wouldn't be growing without great customers to work with. We've also been getting back out into the real world at major industry events, and we look forward to doing even more of that moving forward. I see several attendee names out there that I remember speaking to at Cisco Live this year. I mean, you just can't beat building relationships in person. The biggest thing for us in marketing this year has been educating our community. Sure, we send a lot of emails and run campaigns to drive pipeline for our business, but we've really placed an emphasis on educating our community through content, provoking thought, and sparking ideas for what's possible. That's one of my favorite parts about leading marketing here at Netreo.
Kyle, can you share a little bit about what brings us here this week and why we put on an event like All Systems Go?
Absolutely, Jasmine. Before I answer that, I want to throw a quick shout out not only to the rest of the Netreo team for putting this great event together, but also to all of you, our customers, partners, and fellow IT community members who are really the reason we're here in the first place. Gaz, it's amazing to see how far this event and Netreo have come since we first brainstormed the Netreo user group get together at our little office in Irvine a few years ago. For those who attended the first Nugget event, I think we can all agree that we're miles beyond the 2 concurrent Zoom webinars we ran that first time around. Now we've got an awesome platform and 2 full days of sessions. So leading up to this conference, I've done some reflecting and thinking about why we spend the time and effort to put an event like this together. And I really think that the All Systems Go conference is a perfect representation of our values and who we aim to serve here at Netreo. This event takes accountability, accessibility, and authenticity from our partners, presenters, and team members to be successful. And more importantly, it's about bringing together our company, our customers, and our community in a place to learn, explore new ideas, and connect with each other. So I just want to thank everyone again, our customers, partners, Netreons, friends of Netreo, just everyone who makes an event like this possible. Thanks so much for joining us this week.
Wow, that's quite a lot of things to do. Well, everyone, with all that in mind, thank you so much for joining All Systems Go. We're so glad to have you as part of our community, and we're looking forward to connecting with you over the next couple of days.